My man, you're lucky you didn't get deleted by Secret Service. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about a drunk driver crashing into Joe Biden's motorcade in Wilmington, Delaware. Now, as I said from the beginning, he's lucky he didn't get deleted by Secret Service out there, because right when the crash happened, they're pulling their pistols, they're swarming. It was a big deal. Now, Joe and Jill Biden were not in any of the vehicles. You know, a motorcade is multiple cars. I'm not quite sure which car the guy crashed into. I don't think it was a vehicle that was going to be driving Joe and Jill, but that's not necessarily the point. The point is that they were not in any of the vehicles, and they were right there getting ready to go, but not quite in the cars. They were standing nearby. Joe was looking on crazy, but photo like, hey, what's happening? Right away, it was thought this could be some kind of attack. If you watch mainstream media, they might want to say that it was a MAGA Republican, an extremist, somebody like that trying to attack the Bidens. But really, it was some guy, he was drinking, and then he crashed into the wrong motorcade. He got hit with a DUI right away, and he will most certainly go to the penitentiary, Big Rocks, Little Rocks, for doing something like that. Now, I have video of the situation. If you want to see this video and the other video and the news source we're going to see in a minute, I will link to it in the description. If you're on IG, visit a link in the bio, go to the corresponding article on the website. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Mr. President, why are you losing to Trump in the polls?
There you go. So you see, they're kind of like just trying to shuffle him into the vehicle, so obviously the car that he was going to get into is right here. And there was another one of the cars in the motorcade that he crashed into. All right, then I have another angle of the same situation. Let's go ahead and throw this on the screen. Now you can kind of see, you kind of like way back here, way back in the back. Now, this is the guy right here, way back in the back. I'm not quite sure if he crashed into an ambulance or what's going on. But yeah, so you got a bunch of photographers, journalists out there, everybody getting their cameras. And then you got police, Secret Service. They got weapons drawn because you crashing into a motorcade. You got the president of the USA right here. Man, that's all bad, all bad. Now, let's get into the news clip right here. Let's throw it on the screen and check it on out.
Welcome back here on Live Now from Fox, and I do want to get to some breaking news on a story that.
So here's the guy's vehicle. I'm not quite sure what kind of car this is. Some kind of just regular, everyday white sedan.
We have been following all throughout the morning here on Live Now from Fox.
Hands up, like, hey, my fault. I've been drinking. I'm about 35 Bud Lights deep, and I'm out here on the road. I didn't know all this was going on, and then I crashed my vehicle.
Fox, take a look at this video there on your screen. We have learned just moments ago that the driver of a car that smashed into a parked SUV that was part of President Biden's motorcade near his campaign headquarters in Wilmington, Delaware, has been charged with DUI. The information coming from police. Now, the crash happened last night when the sedan hit a U.S. Secret Service vehicle being used to close off intersections as Biden was walking from the campaign office to his awaiting armored SUV. The sedan then tried to continue in a closed-off intersection before Secret Service personnel surrounded that vehicle with weapons drawn and instructed the driver to put his hands up.
Now, I don't know what kind of idiot you got to be. I mean, I understand the guy, of course, he had been drinking. He got charged with a DUI. I understand that. But first, you crash your vehicle. Then you're still trying to continue on. So you're trying to run. You see all these lights and you see all these cars, and it's a bunch of commotion. Obviously, you can't just go plow your way through. Again, he's lucky because you doing all that, man, you could have easily got lit up like 4th of July, Christmas morning. You'd have been shot up from the top to the bottom, from the left to the right, from the side to the side. Let's keep on going.
Local Wilmington police were investigating the crash, which does mean the driver was not considered a serious threat to the president. And police said earlier today that they have ruled the crash an accident. Wilmington police said the 46-year-old driver has been charged with driving a vehicle under the influence of alcohol and inattentive driving. That is all according to Fox News Digital. After the crash, a visibly stunned Biden was ushered into his waiting vehicle where his wife was already seated before being driven swiftly back to their home without any further incident. The president nor the first lady were harmed as a result. Biden
back to their home, so they go back to their house. They weren't in the White House. Do they spend every weekend in Wilmington? Is that normal? I'm not quite sure if Trump did it or not. He might have done it, but whatever. I think if Trump did something like that, going to Mar-a-Lago or whatever every weekend and golfing and things of this nature, it'd be blown up a lot more than it was in this situation. But let's keep on going.
And the First Lady had just finished a meal with members of his re-election team at the time of the incident. That is according to the White House pool report. Now, again, just moments ago, Fox News Digital reporting from Wilmington police that the 46-year-old driver who did crash into President Biden's motorcade there has now been charged with driving under the influence of alcohol and inattentive driving.
So there we have it. That's what's happening out there in Wilmington, Delaware. This is in the Philadelphia metro area, not too far from where Joe Biden lives. As you heard in the clip, he was having dinner with his re-election team, and he was on the way back, getting into the armored SUV in the motorcade. And then some drunk fool decided to crash his vehicle into one of the SUVs, not the armored SUV that Biden was in with his wife, Jill. He decided to do that and then tried to get beyond the blocked off intersection. And then he got arrested, charged with a DUI. They're not saying that he was trying to hurt the president. He just, was driving recklessly. That's just pretty much what it was. But as I close, I want to say this. Shout out to the police out there and Secret Service for doing their job. Most certainly, you're tasked with the job of protecting the president, First Lady, everybody else. You did your job very well. Got that guy up under control. Nobody got hurt except for his vehicle and except for his criminal record, because he's going to the penitentiary, big rocks, little rocks. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What's your take on what happened here? Do you think it was just a guy who had been drinking a little bit too much, who got out of control and crashed his vehicle into another vehicle? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. I think it was just that simple. Guy been drunk, drinking. When I first saw it on the internet, I didn't know what was happening. I'm like, okay, what's going on here? Was it a guy trying to attack the president? Was this some type of, some kind of psyop? Like, what's really happening? Now we know what's going on. Now we know the full details. And a little bit of advice to all of you who are listening. You probably don't need it. You guys are pretty smart. But if you're going to drink and drive, first of all, don't. But second of all, you might want to avoid presidential motorcades, because if you get caught, you could easily get deleted. And at best, you're going to the penitentiary, big rocks, little rocks. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.